I decided to do Sydney Tinker's 5 facts video. And I keep wanting to call you Sue Tinker because I used to know a Sue Tinker. And that just, Sydney Sue kind of, I guess through all the videos I've done, it's really a struggle to come up with something I haven't already talked about. I know, really? I mean, seriously, that's how boring my life is, I think. I was an extra in a movie, Necessary Roughness. It was filmed at the university that I went to and that I worked at shortly after graduation. We were on the home team side, and they had us all down in the front. There was hundreds of us there. And the rest of the stadium was filled with cardboard people that had actual shirts on. So when the wind was blowing, it made it look a little more real. I have a 2-inch scar on the back of my, just my Achilles area, right above my heel. And I've asked my mom, how did I get it? Because it's a pretty big scar, and it's wide. It's like a Frankenstein scar, I think, but there's no little dots on the outside. So no stitches, which could explain why it's such a nasty scar. And with my family's history of not really wanting to go to the doctor for any reason, gushing blood included, it probably just healed on its own, thus a really ugly scar. And my mom has no idea how I got it. Which is kind of irritating because it's a good-sized scar, and I've had it for as long as I can remember. So let's say I can remember from really consistently on 5 and up. But I have memories younger than that. But let's just say 5 and up. So in the first 5 years of my life, I have this giant, injury that my mom has no recollection of. And that's alarming. Although I will say my mom doesn't remember a lot of my childhood. And I have a bridge here. I've got 3 teeth, it's a bridge of 3. I broke the middle one while eating a chicken salad sandwich. Almost 20 years ago. And it took so much of the tooth with it that the dentist says, we need to pull it because it's just, there's no way to save it. Pulled the tooth, and for a long time I didn't have anything there. I just couldn't afford anything, and so I waited and went to my dentist, and I said, what are my options? This gap, I really need to take care of it. And he said, well, there's two ways to go about this. You could get a bridge, which costs this much. And I was like, oh wow, okay, what's the other option? Well, you can do a partial. I'm like, well, kind of tell me tell me what these mean, what they are. What's a bridge? Well, we take the 2 teeth on the side, we file them down, we put a crown on them, and then the middle tooth is joined to those two outside teeth, so they're all connected. Bridge. Makes sense. Okay. And the partial, which was a lot cheaper, mind you. Well, he says, it's just the one tooth, and it's got, I guess they have little hooks or attachments. You just put it in there, and it kind of wraps around the other teeth, holding itself in. But you have to take it out at night when you go to sleep. And he told me that, and I said, I'm a little young to be taking my teeth out to go to bed. That's just not an option for me. And then also, thinking I was in my 20s, and you think, how unromantic is it that, you're with someone and you're like, let's go to sleep. Well, hang on just a sec. Let me just take my teeth out and put them in a cup by the bed. I couldn't even, no. That just wasn't going to happen at 24. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. So I opted for the bridge, but I did have to wait for a couple more years because it's pricey. But I had to wait. I couldn't do the partial. I couldn't bring myself to do it, even though it was considerably cheaper to do. I just had to wait and save for it because, I just couldn't stop thinking about what a turnoff that would be. I don't have any tattoos. Not one. I have this, I don't know, I guess with my family I have this reputation. I guess since I'm an artist, I must be really out there in left field. I don't know why. I went to lunch with my stepdad. We were actually running errands, and we were at a drive-through, and I don't even know where it came from. He just was, we were ordering the food, and he says, so, I gotta ask you a question. I'm like, all right. So he says, well, how many tattoos do you have? As if I had known tattoos. He just wanted to know how many. And I said 0. Why do you think I would have tattoos? I don't even know why you would think that. Not that is a bad thing, because a lot of people have tattoos. But let's just say, 15 years ago when he asked me the question, not as many people had tattoos as they do today. So it was just an odd question, I thought. My family also, for whatever reason, in their collective memory, thinks that I only wore black in high school. Like I was this goth kid. I had one black shirt in high school. One black shirt. And for some reason, they think I wore all black all the time, or that one shirt every single day. I don't know why they thought that. I don't know, they just have that image that's the way I dressed in high school, and I don't know. Was a huge tomboy as a kid. That's probably not a surprise to anyone. I collected football cards, in fact, as a child, and I just recently found my my football cards. They were packed away in a box, and I thought I had lost like half of them, but I didn't, which was very exciting because I thought I lost. Okay, giant nerd. Also, another little free factoid for you. Them all in a box, separated by teams, of course, and then the teams were alphabetized. I thought I lost the first half of the alphabet, which would have been tragic for me because the Cleveland Browns and the Cowboys were in the first half, and that would have been sad. But yeah. So I have hundreds of football cards from the 70s.